Go really fast. They're pretty easy, I would say this time. We'll go really fast on the stuff that's really self-explanatory. There are 2, possibly 3 where I may have to explain a little deeper, so we're going to get through those first. On the tumble track, yellow will do straight jumps, jump into the pit, green will do tuck jumps, jump into the pit, and red will do star jumps, jump into the pit. By now, they should know exactly what you're talking about when you mean straight tuck or star. Please make sure you're checking that they know what those things are. Have them show you, have them tell you, whatever you need to do to make sure that they're understanding what they're doing and not just doing what you say. That makes it easier when they move up to the next level, and if you're contemplating kids moving up to the next level, making sure they have an understanding of what they're doing is rather important. On this big green trampoline, yellow will do, everyone's doing the same thing, so 5 free jumps to stop in SLP, so same thing. If you see a lot of the times that they're doing that today and it hasn't been marked off yet, you can mark off SLP if you want to use that for the station or the part on their skill sheet if it says SLP under anything, making sure that they know what that means. On the blue tramp, that's behind me, or in front of me, but behind the iPad. There's a green trapezoid, I'll turn it around here in a second, and then the blue trampoline is behind it. Yellow does not need to use the noodle, but if for whatever reason you feel like they're not doing the station and it needs to be a little more difficult for them to do something, and they're just kind of flopping around and not really doing the whole thing, then that's fine. You can put that noodle in there if you want to. They're just going to do donkey kicks, so their hands will be on the trapezoid, their feet will be on the trampoline, and they're just kicking, doing donkey kicks. The noodle will then be put in the trampoline for green and red, and they're just going to do donkey kicks over it. So instead of doing it in one spot, they're going to do it back and forth over the noodle. And then same thing for red. Red's doing the same thing. And I'm just going to turn all of this around and show you once I'm done explaining. That way it makes sense. But that way I don't have to get up 7 million times. The second one, they're going to, or the first one they're going to do on the floor is this one beside me. I'll show you here in this. Actually, I'll just pull it over here. There's the hula hoop, and yellow will sit their booty on the slider right here, and then their feet will walk around on the outside of the hoop to spin them in a circle. Green will do hands on the slider and feet rotate them around the hoop. So instead of sitting on this and using their feet on the outside of the hoop to spin them around, they're going to have their hands on it, both hands, not just one, and they're going to use their feet to walk around the hoop while their hands stay on the slider. And then red is going to do hands on the slider and use their feet to rotate in a circle also. Red, please have them go both directions, so have them try one way and the other way. Green, it doesn't really matter if they go both directions, but red, making sure they can go both ways. And then lastly, for the floor, one. Bridge hips off the floor, balancing an animal on stomach. That's the tabletop bridge, not the real one. Green, you will spot their bridges if need be, and they're going to hold it for 3 seconds. Please don't feel the need to spot if they can already do it. It says spot because the majority probably cannot hold it for 3 seconds yet by themselves. So please help them get up there at least, so you can see if they can try and hold it once they're up there maybe. But make sure you spot them at least once, because that also helps them fix their position and stuff like that. And then red, you only need to spot if they literally cannot do it. So don't help them up, don't help them hold it, none of that. Try and get them to do it all on their own unless you absolutely need to help them up because they don't have it. And then like the brain station, they're going to do a puzzle as fast as they can, balancing in a push-up or a pike. Push-up may be a little harder for some kids that don't have as strong of ab muscles yet, but that's totally fine. That's why they can do it in a pike. I'll show the puzzle here in a second. And then puzzle as fast as they can for green. They're going to balance in a push-up or a pike. And then same thing for red. The only difference is in yellow, they don't use the squishy little hand things, which are the little dots. So in yellow, they don't use anything but the puzzle. In green and red, there are the little half dot things with the smaller dots on top of them, and that's where their hands will go. So their hands will go on those dots, and then they do the puzzle that way. That way it's a little bit more challenging for them. So we've seen the slider station. This one will be the tramp and trapezoid mat. So the noodle is out right now. I'm just going to leave it out. That way whoever's first in class can do what they need be with it. If it is green or red, it will go in the middle, so you just stick it in the little springs, and it normally stays. And then this way is the puzzle, so I put them off to the side. That way it was easier to then see. So there's the puzzle and the 2 dots. When you're doing this one, please make sure that the dots are kind of close in front of the puzzle and not so much super far away so they have to reach. It's a lot easier that way for them to be able to actually do it. You can start, you're more than welcome to start the puzzle pieces off of the puzzle if you would like, and just have them put them on there if you feel like it's taking too long. Or you can have them take them off and put them on all while being on the